Iron Man, aka Tony Stark, in the Marvel comic universe, helped save the planet. But was he actually a good communicator? Here's why this matters for you. We learn a lot from fictional characters about what to do and say and what not to do and say. Iron Man's good and bad communication habits let us see how he handled things, for better or worse, so you can communicate like a hero in your own life. In the Army, I was a linguist and studied how people communicate. Then, as an English teacher, I taught communication through the actions and consequences of heroes in books. How did they handle tough conversations professionally, in relationships, and in everyday life? And what can that teach us? Today, I'm teaching you 3 things Iron Man got right and 3 mistakes he made so you can learn from him how to be a better communicator. Don't worry, even if you didn't read the books in English class or missed the films I'm talking about, I've got you covered. Each week, I'll focus on a new hero to teach you 3 do's and 3 don'ts in communication. And at the end, of course, there's the ultimate surprise reveal. Was Iron Man actually a good communicator or not? First off, let's be clear. Who is Iron Man? Here is a brief backstory. Iron Man, or Tony Stark, is a billionaire genius, an inventor, a playboy who becomes a superhero after building his high-tech suit of armor. Across the Marvel films, we watch Tony evolve from a self-centered weapons manufacturer into one of Earth's most important defenders. But along the way, his bold, impulsive communication style creates almost as many problems as it solves. And that tension between his genius and his flaws makes Tony Stark, Iron Man, the perfect case study on what to do and what not to do when communicating under pressure. And to see it in action, let's start with one of his most unforgettable moments. Here's do number 1. Use the pause to command attention. From Iron Man 1, the press conference scene. After escaping captivity, Tony stands at the podium. He pauses mid-script, looks straight at reporters and says, he pauses, he lowers his voice for impact, "I am Iron Man." That pause makes the line legendary. It forces everyone in the room and the audience to lean in. How you can apply this at work? You're pitching an idea in a meeting. Pause before your key point. Say something like, "Here's what I think," and then the pause. Our team could save 10 hours a week by automating these reports. That pause makes your words sound deliberate and powerful. In relationships, someone asks where things are going. Instead of rambling, pause. Say something like, "Honestly," and then the pause. "I want to see where this connection takes us, but I value going step by step." Remember, sometimes silence commands more power than words. Here's your don't number 1. Overshare without a strategy. From Iron Man to the Senate hearing scene, at the Senate hearing, Tony mocks the senators, overshares about his tech, and it backfires. He gives away leverage. Lesson: oversharing might feel powerful in the moment, but it hands control to the other side. How you can apply this at work? A coworker asks about your project. Instead of dumping details, say something like, "We're on track to deliver next Friday. I'll share updates if that changes." Dating. First date? Keep it light. Say something like, "I've been focused on my career, but I'm also ready to meet someone I connect with." Be intentional. Share enough to build trust, but keep control of your narrative. Here's your do number 2. Own your mistakes publicly. From Avengers Endgame, the apology scene. In Endgame, Tony apologizes to Steve Rogers. He simply says, I shouldn't have pushed you. I wasn't ready. No excuses, no monologue, just honesty. How you can apply this to work: you send the wrong file to a client. Instead of deflecting blame, say something like, that was my mistake, I've fixed it, and I've sent the correct version. Thanks for your patience. In friendships, you missed a friend's birthday. Say something like, I messed up, I should have been there. Let me make it up to you. Direct, short apologies rebuild trust faster than long explanations. Here's your don't number 2. Let ego drive the conversation. In Civil War, Stark versus Rogers' theme. In Civil War, Tony refuses to hear Steve's side of the Sokovia Accords. That refusal, his ego, splits the Avengers and costs them dearly. How you can apply this to work: your boss gives critical feedback. Instead of defending yourself, try something like, I hear you. Can you walk me through what led to that conclusion? In relationships, during an argument, say something like, I want to understand your side before I respond. Can you help me see where you're coming from? Listening isn't weakness, it's leverage. Here is your do number 3. Know when to lead, know when to step back. From Infinity War, Doctor Strange collaboration scene. When Tony clashes with Doctor Strange, his instinct is to dominate, but eventually he realizes Doctor Strange has the better plan, and he steps back. That decision helped save millions. How you can apply this to work: someone on your team has deeper expertise. Say something like, I think Alex has the best insight here. Alex, walk us through your plan. In dating, instead of controlling every conversation, try something like, I want to hear what matters most to you first before I explain my side. True influence often comes from sharing the stage, not owning it. Here's your don't number 3. Avoid the hard conversation. In Endgame, the Stark and Pepper scene, one of Tony's biggest weaknesses: avoidance. In Endgame, he delays talking to Pepper about his plan to time travel and fight Thanos. He hides his fears until the last moment. That avoidance creates unnecessary tension. The lesson: avoiding tough conversations doesn't prevent conflict. It delays it and often makes it worse. How you can apply this to work: you disagree with a manager, but you stay silent. Instead, try something like, I respect your decision, but I see a possible risk here. Can we talk through it? In relationships, you're unhappy, but keeping it in. Try saying something like, there's something on my mind. Can we sit down and talk about it? The longer you avoid the issue, the bigger it grows. Here's my final recap. What Iron Man teaches us about communication. So, was Iron Man a good communicator? Sometimes. He was brilliant when he paused, when he apologized, when he stepped back. But he struggled when his ego took over, when he overshared, and when he avoided the hard conversation. And here's why this matters for you. When you study the communication habits of someone like Tony Stark, Iron Man, his extremes let us see our own habits and what we're doing right and wrong. The pause we forget to take, the argument we escalate, the apology we avoid. By analyzing Iron Man's do's and don'ts, you could start to craft yourself a master communication plan that works. Here's your action plan. Use pauses to grab attention. Share strategically, not emotionally. Apologize simply and directly. Listen before arguing. Step back when needed, and never avoid the conversations that matter most. Master these and you'll communicate with clarity, confidence, and control in every area of your life. And if you want to learn how to speak with more confidence at work, in your relationships, and anywhere it matters, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss me each week, where I'll break down communication habits of our favorite heroes so you can learn how to communicate better right away.